Welcome to the Hellion Rebellion Rock and Roll Association, brought to you by Hollygeist. Oh, man. Bad juju. I don't like what I'm hearing. I've been pretty depressed all day. For a little while now. Before we get started, we have moments to silence to talk about. And I'm going to continue the show with tragedy. We're going to do a tragic show, and I promise within a few days or a week, I'll become the chipper host you want me to be. But I don't know. I need to put this out there. Let's do tragedy. There's a reason the Greeks love it. There's a reason we watch it. There's a reason we listen to it. Let's do tragedy. So, moments of silence before we get started. We have Mike Howe from power metal, speed metal, heavy metal giants, metal church. Young guy. Kind of surprised he went. I thought he was kind of a health nut, but who knows. The one that put the coffin in the nail for me today was Dusty Hill. I mean, if you think about Texas rock and roll, Texas blues, and you're not thinking Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, you're thinking ZZ Top. Or maybe you're thinking of ZZ Top before you're thinking of Stevie Ray. Who knows? That hit me pretty hard. I've never seen him live, I have to admit. But I thought those guys would live forever. And now I can't see him. The one that hit me the hardest, and I'm kind of surprised it hit me as hard as it did, was Joey Jordison. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a die-hard Wednesday 13 Murder Dolls freak. I love that. And Joey was a big part of that. It didn't hit me that hard at first. I'm not a starstruck person. I don't know these people. But I vividly remember buying the very first Slipknot CD. Which Joey, he was one of the founders of Slipknot. And I remember buying this CD after months and months of hearing Wait and Bleed on alternative rock and roll radio. I wasn't privy to the Slipknot in their underground demo days. I kind of came to them later in life, sort of like Nirvana and Smells Like Teen Spirit. And at first, I thought it was a great song. But I'm like, well, that's probably the only good song on the record. It's a bunch of new metal crap. I don't want to listen to it. But the hook and everything got me. And I bowed down. I was like, okay, I'll buy the first Slipknot record. And from the very get-go with the song Sick, my jaw hit the floor. I mean, this band within a few chords changed metal. Every band prior to them were in a position to where they really had to redefine themselves because they were not going to be able to compete with Slipknot. I mean, even a band like Lamb of God has to do Slipknot. They have riffs like Slipknot. And to this day, Slipknot is a freaking it's a freak show. It's a traveling circus. It was such a cool concept, and to have great music to go along with that is pretty cool. So Joey Jordison's death. I mean, he wasn't old. I mean, he was my age, maybe a little younger than me, and it's really been eating away at me. And I really hate to see people that talented go. So we need to have a couple moments of silence, 3 moments of silence for these individuals tonight. I nail a G.I. Joe to a crucifix. I'm really going to miss seeing Joey and AC Slade back to back doing their twin guitar attack, you know. I'm going to really miss seeing that. All three of these individuals were sharp dressed men, and I'm sure they'll find favor with the angels in heaven. So, to keep in context with the theme of tragedy, I have a pretty good rock and roll story for you. And that story comes from Southern California by the name of Betty Blowtorch. I hate the fact that I'm going to have to reveal some personal information about myself. But back in the day, I used to live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So, I used to hang out at this bar or club, and I would hang out there whether there was a show going on or not. You know, I was there playing pinball, drinking, buying, selling weed, hanging out with people. Hell, I got a job once hanging out with somebody there. I don't know. It was weird. But it was just a place I hung out. I might have hung out there for an hour. I might have hung out there for 10 hours. Who knows? It was one of those weird nights, a weekday night. I think it was a Wednesday or a Thursday night. Nobody was supposed to play, and I was just there. By 9 o'clock, a band shows up on stage, and it's these tatted up, sleazy looking ladies. I mean, some of them had like thongs hanging out their pants and stuff. I mean, there was probably 20, 30, maybe 40 people in the club. And these girls show up on stage, and they're like, We're Betty Blowtorch. We're gonna rock your dicks off. And I'm like, what the hell? Nobody was expecting this. Of course, they had everybody's attention in the room. And they just rip into it. I mean, rip into it. And I'm like, did they know I was here? Because this is the kind of music I really, really enjoy. I mean, I think they played entire set. They played, I don't know, hour. I think they played Looks That Kill. It was just crazy. And everybody lost their shit when this band showed up. When most people were there just to play pool and drink and hang out. Like I said, there was no promotion for this. Nobody knew this was even happening. This was one of these one-off gigs where somebody didn't show up, or hey, we need gas money. Hey, we need burrito money. Can we play for an hour and get some money? And this is one of those kind of gigs, and people like me are just stuck in there. Just stuck in the middle. And with Betty Blowtorch, I was happily stuck in the middle. Because, like I said, this is the kind of music I really, really like. By the second song, I was just like, well, I'm staying here tonight. I'm about to spend a ton of fucking money. And I just got up in front of the crowd, started dancing, doing my thing, wiggling my butt. I'm like, hell yeah, you girls showed up and started playing that. I mean, it was strong as hell. I mean, this was Girl School meets Motorhead meets L7 meets Faster Pussycat. I mean, it was crazy. I'd never seen anything quite like this before. So, after the show, uh, I'm at the bar hanging out with my people. And the singer, who goes by the name of Bianca Butthole, she sits right next to me. And I buy her a drink. And she was like, I really like the way you were dancing, really getting into it, because I mean, we really weren't supposed to be here tonight. There's half of these people here probably don't even like this kind of music. I'm like, well, you'd be surprised. A lot of these people are pretty much into rock and roll. Um, she buys her own drinks. We're talking. She notices that I had at the time some black Chuck T Converse shoes on, and on the little white shell top. Well, maybe not shells. That's an Adidas thing, but the top of a Converse shoe. I had a Greg Graffin's signature from a Bad Religion show, and she was like, "I'll give you $50 right now for those shoes." And I knew I had places to walk to after the night was ending, and I wasn't willing to give up my shoes. I would have gladly given her my shoes had I was driving, or if my house was across the street or something. But we had a good time. I was trying to pick up on her. It's like, hey, how about you ladies come back to my apartment? I've got a pool. I just did a big art show. I have a ton of sandwiches, some various cheeses, and a few bottles of wine left over. I got a ton of weed. I mean, if nothing else, you can just stay at the house. I promise I won't be a dick. You know, if you want to do something, I am a dude. You know, I'm a guy. You want to do something, we can do something. But, you know, if you just want to hang out and chill, that's cool. But no, she was very appreciative of it, and then she introduced me to all the other ladies in the band, and one of them was actually in L7 at the time. And I was like, oh hell yeah, you know, I love L7. I think I saw I saw you girls open up for Green Day or something, and it was a great night. And you know, I did my thing, and I tried to pick up on them. I ain't gonna lie, but they were like, you know, we weren't really supposed to stop in Baton Rouge, but we had a chance to do it, so we did it. We're gonna be in New Orleans tonight or in the morning. You know, it's like, well, hey, you know, I bought one of their little CDs, which where is it? Interestingly enough, this was co-produced by Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses fame. So that was that. Um, I left, they left, everybody left. Everything ends. It would be 2 months later, and I'd find out that Bianca Butthole, or Bianca Halstead, would die in a car crash the very next day. And it's weird because these are people, I don't know these people, but it's weird that to the day I die, I'm going to be like, man, I talked to that girl 12 to 20 hours before she died. I'm one of the last people that girl ever talked to. And it just sends chills down my spine. It's not like being at the bedside of a loved one and knowing what's happening and being there. It's just rock and roll. It's just, hey, you want to come back to my place, swim, drink, smoke some weed? We can do other things. But if not, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. Um, and it's a shame. I mean, this is an amazing, great, great band, and I kind of think they should have tried to get another singer. I mean, it was hard for AC/DC to accept Brian Johnson. You know, but like I said, this is one of those few rock and roll stories I have, and let's go ahead and play the rock and roll. That's why we watch the show anyway, not really to watch me. So there you go. Betty Blowtorch. Remember, fellas, you got to shave all that stuff down there. I mean, it makes everything look bigger and more appealing to the ladies, or to the dudes if you're into that. Um, Again, go check out Faster Pussycat. They still play a lot of these girls' songs. It's kind of fascinating, actually. I know this was a video about tragedy, but we must carry on, and I promise you in the next few days or week or so I'll upload something a little bit more cheerful. I love Betty Blowtorch. I love Bianca Halstead, and it's a story, and it's an experience I will always remember. And I love everybody out there, and I will see you next time.